Hey there, Luke from Wild Sides. So today I want to talk about habits. Alright, I've did a video before about habits versus motivation, how I think that ultimately habits win. Okay, motivation's nice in the beginning, but ultimately your outcomes are going to be predicated on your habits. Alright, those process goals, those things. Alright, and I said I'd talk a little bit about how we can set up good habits, and I talk about this in the Healthy at Home course. Alright, I talk about convenience versus consistency, okay, and how important this is. All right, so convenience, obviously, we need to make it easy to do. All right, so if it's easy to do, there's a low bar. All right, we're actually more likely to do it, and we're actually probably more likely to do it consistently. All right, but there's actually a really good book by James Clear called Atomic Habits, and I recommend that you read it. I would hold it up and go, "Oh, have a look," but I lent it to a colleague because I think it's so good. Read it and learn some stuff. But he actually talks about, and I've got them written down here. It talks about if you want to set up some good habits for yourself, you want to make it obvious. Okay, so one of them could be like you put the exercise bike literally in the lounge room in front of the TV. All right, don't make it a clothes hanger. Okay, I know that happens. People tell me that all the time. You want to make it attractive. Okay, so you want to make sure that it looks good to do. And I suppose the way that you could keep doing that is that obviously it being in front of the TV makes it more attractive to do because you can watch your favourite show or something like that as well. Make it easy. Well, once again, it's right there. It's easy to do. All right, you don't have to pull out, like if you have to pull the bike every single time out of your garage and then, take it out to your lounge room and turn your TV on, you're probably not going to do that. All right. And make it satisfying to do. All right. So you actually might decide to couple it. All right. So you might put it with watching your favorite TV show. All right. So basically, you associate every time that you watch that TV show, your habit is you're probably on the exercise bike at the same time. Okay, so make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying to do. All right. He also talks about doing the opposite. So how do you make those habits that you don't want go away? All right. So he says, make it less obvious, make it obscure. Okay. So let's say if you wanted to quit smoking, that you would keep the cigarettes away, like in a cupboard or something like that. Make it attractive. Well, those cigarette packets generally always seem to carry little, warnings and terrible pictures and things like that anyway. And make it easy. Well, if you put it in a container that, you actually had to undo and then take out and make it a bit of an ordeal, it's probably less easy. And also make it satisfying. Well, I don't really know how to put that in the context of smoking. I'm sure somebody out there could do that for me and talk about how you can make smoking less satisfying. I think one way would be that the rule would, if you had to have smoke, that you couldn't be connected with the group. You had to go somewhere else. And I know that there's been law changes where people now that they smoke, they have to go X amount of distance away from the building or something like that to kind of set them apart. All right, so when we go around building our habits, we need to think about those kinds of things. We need to think about how can we do that? How can we set those things up? All right, and now this can be linked to our beliefs. All right, so that helps also define those things, like what kind of things do they do. All right, I'm going to do a video about that as well. All right, so think about, how can you make something easy? How can you do it consistently? How could you make it obvious to do? How can you make it attractive? How can you do it easy and make it satisfying? I think one for me is the food prep thing. So on Sunday afternoons, my partner and I, we meal prep, and it's a little bit of a pain. Sunday afternoon you got to take a few hours, but it's actually quite satisfying that over the week it's very easy. Okay, that's what I want to eat, bam, and I don't have to stress. I don't have to spend time when I come home from work or anything. Like come home from the clinic and start prepping this meal or anything like that. I just pull it straight out. It's healthy. It's ready to go, and I just get into it. Okay, so that's one of my habits that I have. Okay, all right, Luke from Well Size. Look out for that video that's coming about beliefs and things like that. I'll talk about a couple extra things that you can do for habits.